Hello, everybody. Um, I was reading an interesting post on Reddit where they talk about the UI taking frame rates. So right now I'm hitting almost 30 frames per second, which right now is 30 frames, which is the best I've done in this game, um, except the one time I had a fresh server with nobody in it. So as you can see right now, there's no UI elements, and I'm bouncing between 25 and 30, but mostly closer to 30. And let's check this out here. So look at that. Now I'm a rock steady. Oh, it moved a little bit, but it immediately dropped down to 20, and now we're looking at like 18, 19. Oh, all right. I want to keep the planet out of sight, so let's see. I'm gonna unlock my view. As you can see, as I get more of the UI on, it starts to tank. Let's see. Now, Moby-Glass. Yep. So I'm under 20 frames consistently. Let's bring the... Now, let's exit this. My frame rate went up a little bit. And now my frame rate is steadily climbing up. And I'm back up around 25 frames. Oh, there I am. And now it's not as consistent as it was before, but you can see it's... Oh, it just dipped. Don't know what happened there. But maybe someone logged on. Anyway, as you can see, it keeps climbing back up when I'm over here. Let's see. And so right now I'm just staring at the top of the bunk. I'll put the power on. Don't think that did anything inside the bunk, but yeah, so I don't know. I definitely think the UI has something to do with it because I did see the drops. Ooh. And as you can see, my ping on the server is getting really bad. When I first got on, it was like around 40. Now it's consistently closer to 60.
fighter armed. Landing gear down. Landing gear up.
So there you go. I don't think it's anything conclusive. We'll have to wait and see. But I am definitely happy that I've been hitting close to 30 frames per second. Most of the time I'm above 25. This little patch was such a huge improvement, and that's a little why I'm upset about waiting for 3.1 for more improvements. Because before this one, I was constantly getting about 10 frames per second, highs of 14, and it just wasn't playable. You can see some of my early videos. But this one, with the patch, I'm getting better performance, but it's still all over the place. Like, as you can see, for no reason, I'll drop down to about 9 frames per second, 8 frames. Last night, I dropped down to about 2 frames per second for a little while. I really don't know why. Nothing really changed in what was being rendered. Like right now, I'm just flying. It dropped down to 9 frames per second, and now it's back up to 15. So it's still very server dependent, and I think whenever something happens on the server that causes the server to slow down, we take a big hit. And I don't know if that's because they're updating every client with every single thing that happens in the game. But hopefully with the 3.1 they fix it. But it would have been nice if we kept getting rolling updates and performance improvements. I understand that most of the performance will come, when they're about the live portion of the game and they're ready to release it. But I think continual increments of improvement would have been a great help. I know my CPU is a little bit old. It's an i7 3000 something, and I'm on DDR3, but my graphics card is fine. It's a Vega 56. I'm able to play everything extremely high resolution at 4K without performance issues. So I wasn't expecting, miracles on this game. It's very advanced, and it's in like the 7,000th year of alpha. But I was expecting more stable frame rates. So hopefully we do get some more rollouts of patches, and if not, hopefully March, I believe, is 3.1. So hopefully 3.1 has a lot of the networking fixes, and let's just hope that is what's needed. I would love to just have a steady 30 frames per second, and as I stated in another video, that may go up after this, but as I stated in another video, I am definitely upgrading. I'm waiting for the new Ryzen chips and motherboards to come out. That's supposed to be April, from the leaks of the new chipset, the new motherboards. It's going to have a new power delivery, and hopefully they've made memory speeds a lot more stable, because some of you guys might know, but with the original Ryzen, your memory speed was very important. If you get hit 3,200 megahertz on the DDR4, you would get much better performance. Most of the original Ryzen chips had a wall around like 4 to 4.2 gigahertz. So it'd be nice if the new chips plus the new board is able to push the range of overclocking above like 4.5 gigahertz and make it stable. Maybe use some better RAM than 3,200 DDR4. It would be nice if we could use, I saw some DDR4 4000 sticks, which would be really nice. But we'll see, and I'll keep anybody who's interested updated on that as I build it. I'm going to be picking up a new case to start the build, so as I start to pick up components, I'll just start putting them in. My Vega is going to come with me. It's a great card. I know a lot of people are NVIDIA fans, but I think it's a great performer. I got it for 360, so, At the time I bought it, it was cheaper than a 1070, and it performs roughly around a 1080. And I haven't done it yet, but apparently the BIOS mod to make it into Vega 64 is pretty easy. But I'm gonna wait until I set up the new system until I start fiddling around with any of that. So there you have it. Oh, and on the flip side, I'm glad I bought when I did, because now Vega 56 will be like $800, and 1070 Ti $800, all because of the mining. So all in all, I'm happy. I just wish I had bought two, but or splurged for the 64. But I'm very happy, and that's all. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think it's a UI issue on the ships taking frame rates. If you think it's a combination of the UI and the server, because I mean, frankly, that's what I think it is. And I don't know, whatever your thoughts are. Some people said it was the anti-aliasing they're using that's affecting the performance, because it kind of glitches up and slows down when you see the UI elements. Some people say that's not it. Somebody on Reddit downsampled from a higher resolution and it fixed the issues. So maybe they'll be able to split out the rendering pipeline for the UI and have it render at a higher resolution and then downsample it for everybody. Maybe like double whatever you're doing. So be interesting to see. But I mean, I'm running at 4K, and some of the stuff, the main stuff looks really good. But then when I go and I look at my menu over here on my left, it doesn't look too clear. I have to get close to really see it whenever I want to use this map. It doesn't look that great. So this is 4K resolution, and you can really see the lines, like on the outer and inner ring over here. You can really see the assailant. And then when I get close, it looks better. But yeah, it'd be really nice if they split it out, because what could be really cool about that is if you were able to offload it to another video card. And I'm not saying I would get another Vega for this, but it'd be nice if I could take an old 480 Radeon 480 and just have it render all the UI, and then just overlay it. Because now with the way multi-cards work in DX12, you can basically do whatever you want. You don't have to just have them alternate the frames that they're rendering. You should be able to theoretically have two video cards render and interlay the end results on each other. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. And that's all. Just give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. And have a great one, guys.